replay. I'll be right with you. Be right with you. I'm just getting sure that everything is the way it should be on my end, and we'll get started. Hello, everybody. Hey, Leslie. I see that you're watching tonight. Nice to see you again. I have a really fun project tonight, and I don't do this very often, but tonight we're going to be working with inks. I don't know if you've ever used it before, but I have a few times. I'm just going to change my angle a little bit there and load those. Okay, so I haven't done this very often, but it's really not that much more difficult than using our chalk paste, which, as you know, isn't difficult at all, right? So the main difference between using chalk paste and ink is that ink is permanent. So if you go outside the lines or get it on your fingers and touch your fabric, chances are pretty good that it's going to stay right where you put it. So this is kind of something that you want to be aware of if you're working with inks. It is a little bit more forgiving if you're working on something like porcelain, which I also have a project for us that I'll be doing really soon. But tonight I'm going to be working on a t-shirt, and this is just a plain black t-shirt I picked up at, I think, the craft store that starts with an M, whose name shall remain nameless. And I have in front of me a very sticky mat that I'm going to put in between the layers of the t-shirt. So as I was saying, this was very sticky, kind of like a Cricut mat or a silhouette mat. If you happen to own a cutting machine, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't have a Chalk Couture mat in a pinch, those will work fine too. They just won't fit quite the same. Hi, Leslie, so glad to see you again. I was talking to the coach about you earlier today, and your grandson, so it was nice. She and I just found out that we have grandsons that are playing on the same basketball team, so now we get to see each other every Sunday, which is nice. So before I get started, I have already peeled the plastic overlay that goes on top of this sticky sheet, and I'm going to attempt to put it inside of the t-shirt. This could be a real disaster, but I'm thinking that if I kind of go in it at this angle and then unfold it when it's inside, that should work, right? Let's hope so. If you're just popping in, be sure to say hello and let me know where you are. If you're a first-time viewer, let me know about that too. One of the things that really would help me in my business is if you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that SHARE tab on your computer. Of course, good things. And I'm not supposed to say that SHARE word, so I say sprinkle. So if you wouldn't mind sprinkling this Chalk Couture video with your friends and family, that I would much appreciate it. You never know who's going to love this as much as I do. And you do maybe too. So, okay. Hey, that went pretty well. I folded it kind of into a tube and popped it in there. I'm going to try to get this t-shirt smooth. And so the sticky mat inside of it does a couple of different things. First of all, it keeps your t-shirt from sliding around when you're inking. As you know, we're going to use a squeegee, and just by going like this, it can make your t-shirt stretch and the fabric buckle a little bit. So this will keep it from moving around. It'll also prevent the ink from going through the first layer onto the second layer. So that is something, of course, you will want to avoid too. Good things, of course, Miss Leslie. We were talking about how different sizes, how many different sizes the boys are on their teams. We're talking about our grandsons. I think yours is in second grade too. And there's such a size difference and there was one boy that was towering over the other guys, and some parents were thinking, well, maybe he should be on a different team, but that's not the way it works. It's by age, not by size. So, you know, all the way through life, you're going to find people that are bigger and stronger, smaller and weaker than you are. So you just got to learn to get along, right? So guess what I'm going to put on this shirt, this t-shirt? This is one of my very favorite transfers. And I got to tell you that one of the reasons I started working with Chalk Couture was because of the vintage chalk. I don't know what it is. It just... My father had an old, I don't know what it was, a Ford, I think, when I was growing up. But we used to take rides in the back of the truck all over town, and we had so much fun with it. And maybe that's why it just makes me feel happy. Anyway, I'm going to put this vintage chalk on a t-shirt, and I'm thinking that I'm going to add a little bit of a spin on this. Of course, I could just put the vintage chalk on, but no, I am going to add a little bit more. I think I'm going to make the body plaid like this, and I'm also going to fill the back of the truck with some hearts because it's almost Valentine's Day, and why not, right? So the Valentine's hearts that I have on here, I mean, they're not just for Valentine's Day, do you think? Anyway, I'll wear it anytime, but I'm going to make sure that everything fits in here without going right up into the neckline. It wouldn't be the worst thing, I suppose, right? That looks about where I want the placement for my truck. So when you're working with this one, we're going to be doing it in 3 different layers. Make sure I can get that into the camera view. Starting with this one right here. So we're going to do this one in a solid color. I'm going to peel it off, dry it up a little bit, and then we'll come back in with the buffalo plaid on top of that. This looks so cute, you guys, if you haven't seen it yet. So we got to figure out where this guy is going to go first of all. So I'm just going to peel it off. Normally we would be fuzzing our transfers at this point, but as you can see, this truck has been used, I can't even tell you how many times. I cannot even tell you. And it's still going strong. This is my original truck I got 2.5 years ago when I first started as a designer. And oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how many times I've used it. And I still love it. If it died today, I would just go buy another one because it's just been really good transfer. So this is about where I want my bottom layer to go. So I'm going to just kind of hold that spot for it and move this. Oh, good, that worked. And move that away. And I'll put this right about where it was. That looks about right. So just like you would do on a hard surface like a chalkboard or a piece of wood or whatever you were using it on, we're going to spoon that down nice and tight. You want to be sure that, especially around the edges, they are tight so you don't get any bleeding. If you do, it's not the end of the world, right? Think about those t-shirts that we all wore in the 70s if you were around. They had kind of a bleedy look to them, and that was kind of cool. All right, so this is down nice and tight, and I have my colors ready. I'm going to do a taupe colored truck and with silver and white wheels. So we're going to start with the taupe. This, you might notice, is a small jar. It is a 2-ounce jar, which is something that we used to have back in the day. 2 years ago, we had 2-ounce jars of chalk paste and ink. And they didn't last very long. We really went through these like crazy. They also had a plastic lid that covered everything. It was kind of a pain because, as you can see, it's very messy. I've got this little can of disinfectant wipes right by my side here because I have done this before and I've gotten ink on my hand and then touched my shirt. So here's a tip for you. If you're working on a t-shirt, use black, because if you happen to make a mistake and get the wrong color on it, you can take a Sharpie and color it in. So, isn't that nuts? All right, so just like the chalk paste, we're going to give this a good swirl. Guys, I have not used this in a long time. It is smooth as silk. It's just beautiful still. And this is one of my originals, so it's going on 2.5 years old. Probably one of the first things I got as a designer. All right, I'm being super careful not to get things on where it shouldn't be. And now I need my white. Here's a 3-ounce jar. Look at the difference in size. And I'm going to stir this one up too. Grab that paper towel again. Sometimes I close them tighter than people like them to be, but air is what makes them dry out, so I'm careful. All right, yeah, this looks perfect too. Not going to add any water to it. Looks nice and smooth. That is crazy nice. Hey, if you're just hopping in, say hello. See, I have a few viewers. Make sure you hit that SHARE tab, please. And if we get 25 viewers tonight, I'm dying to give something away. So make sure that you sprinkle this all over everybody you know. All right, so actually I'm only going to use white right now. What am I thinking? I'm just going to use white for this part, and I'll put this away for now. Okay, so just like we do with our chalk paste, I'm going to grab my squeegee and I'm going to cover this whole area with the white ink. Now, just like when you're working with chalk, you're going to try to do long, smooth strokes if you can, and then we're going to dry this. So I'm just going to scoop out some of that chalk paste. Instead of starting right at the end, I'm going to start in the middle. I've heard a tip that people say that working up and down is better. It gives you less bleeding, and I actually don't remember having bleeding happen when I've done this before, but one of the other really nice things about using ink is that it doesn't dry as fast as paste does, so you have a little bit more time to play with it. Okay, I got that all covered with the ink, and I'm scraping off all of the excess and putting that right back in the jar. I have done several projects using the white ink. Look at how much is still in here. It's just about full still. Okay, a little spot right there I gotta get. Okay, I think we are done. I'm gonna pull this up. Put that to the side. And I always say a little prayer when I pull them off. Looks nice. Okay, so normally I would stick this on the side of my table, but because it's ink, I'm going to throw it right into a water bath I have over to the side here. It's just an old roasting pan that I have full of water. That's just going to make me a little more confident that I'm not going to get paste on my hands or on the t-shirt or anywhere where it shouldn't be. So I'm going to cover up this white. I actually think I'm done with the white paste, so I'm going to throw my squeegee and my stir stick in the tub with the transfer. I'm being super careful, you know, because I really would like to be able to wear this. Okay, so I'm going to hit this with my heat tool for a little bit. When you're using the heat tool, just keep in mind that it is hotter than a hairdryer, so you have to keep it moving, and you also want to be careful that you don't overheat it because you can warp your mat beneath it. So I'm going to get this going. If you don't happen to have a heat tool or a hair dryer, you're going to have to let this dry for a little while. Just leave it on its own You know, check on it every here and there. I'm going to say half an hour at least, just to let the layers dry in between. So it's tacky. Hey, Lucille. So I'm just keeping this moving. I'm just checking to make sure there's no warping in the mat beneath here. So do you remember that the other night I made the candy jar with the Valentine on it? I didn't even get to give it to the boys because they spotted it on the shelf the minute they came in today. They didn't really care about the decorating on it though, honestly. They were all about the candy though. This is feeling pretty good. It's getting there. Just keep it moving. Hey, Christine. We're doing your favorite transfer tonight. Okay. Got a little pocket in my apron here. It's kind of like my holster for my dryer. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is the buffalo plaid layer on top of here. I'm going to let this cool just a little bit before I put that on. Shouldn't really matter too much. So again, this has been used a lot. You can see how much staining it has on it. But you guys, just because your transfers look stained doesn't mean they are not perfectly suitable for using over and over again still. Christine, I think, has used her vintage Chuck a dozen times already, and it still looks perfect. They take a licking, that's for sure. So I'm just putting this right on top of the white that I just did. Looks good. And smooth that down nice and tight, and we're going to add the buffalo plaid to this. Christine, I think this might even be easier than, I shouldn't say that right, don't speak too soon, easier than what you do on your chalkboard sometimes, because there should be less lifting. Sometimes our chalk can be a little tricky. Ah, see, I got it on my hand again. I try. I hope I centered that well enough. Okay. All right, so the next one we're going to do the body of the truck here. I'm going to grab some of that ink and really be careful you don't dribble it on your shirt or get it on your hands. Should be going this way because it is very hard to get out if you put it on the wrong spot. So I'm constantly checking my hands. I'm so excited to see how this comes out. Christine, would you wear a Chuck? I sure would. Okay, the truck is covered. And I'm going to go back and squeegee off the excess right back into the jar. So after you have done, you're done chalking this. I keep saying chalking, it's a habit. When you're done inking your shirt and it's all dry, you're going to want to iron this to heat set the ink. And to do that, you are going to get out your iron and put it on a medium setting and cover the design with parchment paper. I personally don't have parchment paper. That's what's recommended, but I usually use a piece of notebook paper. Put it on top of the design and iron it for 4 minutes on the front, then inside it out and do 4 minutes on the back side and putting the paper in between every time. That is it. That seals it. So this is looking pretty good. You would probably, I would be so proud of you. And we're going to lift this off. This is going to be a pretty truck. Okay, this is going to go right into the tub, and I'm going to check my fingers. See, I get a little bit on me every single time. So far I'm really liking this. Okay, so I'm going to get my heat tool out and dry that again for a couple of minutes more. Hello, if you're just popping in, say hello. And sprinkle this video, please. So I think I told you guys I've been updating my YouTube channel. And the reason that I even thought to do that was I know you know I've been having some trouble with what I thought was my Wi-Fi. But I had actually filled my new iPad with videos. So many that I had used up all of the memory that I had in there. Yep, I did. So I have downloaded all of my videos that I had on my iPad to YouTube. So if you would like to see my YouTube channel, you can scroll through all of the different projects that I've done. Just type in my name, Susan Tapley, Tapply, and you can find my YouTube channel. You love it already, Leslie? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I gotta say, layering was really, really easy with this. We'll see about the next layer, right? Still tacky. I want to be sure that it's not too tacky because the next layer, you never know, it could pull it up. So again, if you're just joining me, I am heating this up. There is a sticky mat in between the layers of the shirt. If you don't have a Chalk Couture mat, you could probably use an old Cricut mat or a silhouette mat. It keeps the shirt from shifting as you're chalking, and it keeps the ink from bleeding through from the front to the back side of your shirt. Almost there. I mean, one more minute and we'll be ready to move along. Okay, I think we're good. Now I get to take this big messy layer and do this one. So you can see how loved this transfer has been. I have used it over and over and over. And we are just going to line this up by using the center of the wheel. That seems to be the way that I line it up the best. Right about there. Of course, my t-shirt isn't lying flat at the moment, so I'll have to kind of work my way across. It feels like my mat is a little wavy. I don't know if I overheated it or what, but it'll do. So right over here, I'm super close to the edge. Just that where that little fender is. Hi, Holly. So what I'm going to do, because I'm crazy, not really, I just don't want to get color on the wrong spot. I'm going to put a little bit of painter's tape right there. So just in case I go outside the lines, it's all cool. It will be fine. All right, so my plan is to go over this again with the taupe and then do the wheels in silver. What do you think of that? I can't use black, obviously, and I don't have that many colors of ink anyway, so we're gonna go with the taupe and the silver. Okay, so this is actually silver ink that is got a little bit of shimmer to it. I'm gonna open this to the side here just in case it's drippy. Again, I have not used this in a very long time, but it looks beautiful. Give it a stir. Yeah, it's definitely separated, but it's still, it's going to be fine. Give it a good stir. Got a little bit of bling bling to it. How are you, Miss Holly? I haven't seen you in a while. I miss you. Okay, so I'm going to start with the body of the larger part of the truck first. Maybe I'll do the wheels first. I'm going to do the wheels first. I'm afraid that if I do the big part first, I'll forget and go over the wheels. So I'm going to start with the wheels down here. And grab that silver glittery loveliness and go right up the wheels. It's a tight fit right here. As I was saying before, the ink definitely dries slower than the chalk. So it is more forgiving in that you can take your time a little bit more. That one's covered. Let's go with this one. Let me know if you guys have inked before. I don't even know if any of you have. Holly maybe. Hi Patty Snyder. Okay, we're getting there. I'm being really careful not to get this in the wrong spot around the body of the truck here. This is going to be cute. Okay, I'm going to leave that a little bit thick for now while I work the rest of the truck, and then I'll go back and scrape that silver off. Okay, here we go. We're going in. Michelle, hello. Michelle is kind of a new chalker. She did the most beautiful truck that came out in her style, which is super primitive. It was just gorgeous. Today we're working on our truck t-shirts. Think you guys would try this? Okay, we're getting there. Working my way around the front, and then I'm just going to be really careful again around these wheels to get everything covered. If you haven't seen these before, these are reusable silk screen transfers. This one has been used dozens of times. I can't even imagine how many times I've used this. And it's still going. Leslie, you have inked? I did not realize that. How am I doing? I'm glad I put that tape there. I just, you know, I would feel awful if I went outside where I should be in that area and made a mess out of my shirt. Because I really want to wear it. Okay, we're getting there. A little more to go. Gosh, these two colors right here are very close together, so I'm being super careful. Okay, we're just pushing that right through the screen, and I think I've got it covered. Okay, you know the routine. We're going to go in now and scrape off all the excess to put back in the jar. So we can make lots of trucks. Oh, you haven't done it yet. You want to. Okay. We can make that happen. Just a little nervous around these tires here. Almost done. I'm not going to get too fussy around this area. Okay, here we go. This is the magic. See, I have silver on my fingers, so definitely keep some disinfectant wipes near you so you can clean your fingers off. Yeah, drum roll. Thanks, Christine. Oh, I got to get the silver scrape too. I forgot about that. Hold on. Hold that drum roll. Oh, you guys, I'm so tired. My little old puppy is not feeling well. He is 17 years old and is on Lasix. And it's giving him stomach aches in the middle of the night. 2 or 3 times a night I have to get up with him. I feel like I have a newborn in the house. Okay, now you can start that drum roll. I'm going to pull up that tape first. I'm just going to check again. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. And peel this away. Ready? Oh my gosh. I really like it. Ta-da-da! It's really cute, you guys. Alright, so I'm throwing all of my transfers in the bathtub so I don't risk putting it down anywhere near my truck. Yeah, Leslie, I don't know what I'm going to do. We got some new medicine for him today, but I'm tired. I'm too old for newborn baby stuff. Okay. What do you think? Does it look good? Ugh, I almost got the lid on the sleeve. Cover these back up tight. I think it's really adorable. Adorable. And it was fun and easy to do too. Okay, got my inks covered. And I think I am done with these 2 silver and gray squeegees. So in the bathtub they go. Clean my fingers one more time. And we're going to dry this up. And I am going to add a couple things, including some hearts into the back. And I also want to put this on the door. I think it'll be really cute. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I'm going to dry this up. It'll take a minute or so. I wasn't sure I was going to like the silver wheels, but I do. I sure do. Guys, if you were just popping in, be sure to hit that SHARE tab on your screen so we can share this adorable little truck with everyone. It takes a little bit longer the more layers you have, I think. But it's coming out good. So as I was saying, when this is all really, really nice and dry, I would let it like dry overnight. You're going to heat up your iron to medium heat and put a piece of parchment paper on top of the truck. I don't ever have parchment paper. I'm not really sure what you do with it, but if you do, you can use that. I have used notebook paper or computer paper on top of it. It seems to work fine. And you're going to heat this up for 4 minutes on each side with medium heat iron. Some people have something called an Easy Press, which is a Cricut product that you can do it with much faster, but it's only 4 minutes. So do the front side, flip it over, and again, parchment paper and heat, and that will set your ink permanently. I am using a mat underneath here to keep it from sliding around and to prevent any bleeding from the front to the back. Make sure that you take it out before you iron. It is not heat safe. Oh, it's for baking? Who knew? You guys did. I did not know that. You bake cookies on it? getting there. Another minute. I'm trying to keep the heat tool moving. These are super concentrated heat tools, and if you leave it on one place for too much, it can really actually burn your chalk. So keep it moving. If you don't have a heat tool, you can use your hair dryer, or you can just let it air dry in between layers. Still a little wet. Do you use it all the time? Parchment paper? I know you make a lot of cookies. Alright, I think that'll do it. That should do it. I'm going again to check my hands because I don't want to get ink anywhere it shouldn't be. I'm a little paranoid, aren't I? Okay, so these are the hearts that I'm going to put in the back of the truck. The pink that I'm using is called Couture Coral. I think that's the only pink I have. I have a red, but I don't want it to look too Valentine-y, so I can wear it anytime I want to. So I'm going to use this color. So let's get this situated where it should be. And this has been used before, but I guess it cleaned really well. And they are not very sticky, so that's a good thing. Let's find a happy place for this, right about here. And smooth it down. I guess since I've got this out, I might as well do that little itty bitty one too on the door. Christine, were you the one who did this first? We started, we have a vintage truck club, and the girls get together about once a month to change up the designs in the back of their truck. And hey guys, you know what? I put this on the wrong side of the carrier sheet. Oh no! Might not be able to use it. Let's see if I can get it off clean. No, see what happens? I always tell people to write on the back, and I didn't. So this is probably not going to be any good. Oops, wait, I might got it. Maybe I have it. Holy cow, I got it off. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the middle of the door here. And I'm just going to put a light pressure around the edges of that because I don't want to pull up the chalk around the outside of it. And this one should be good too. All right, here we go. We're going in. So this is the Couture Coral, as I was saying before. Haven't used this in a long time. It looks absolutely perfect. Oh my goodness, it's like silk. All right, here we go. Let's get me a squeegee. We're going in. So I'm really excited to see how this looks. I hope it doesn't look too Valentine-y because I really would like to wear it a lot. I'm going on a cruise in a couple weeks. I don't know if this is the right thing to bring, but I might. We're going with our chalk friends so they'd understand. They'd get it. Okay. It's so strange that there's like no drag. It's just so, it goes on so easy. It feels a little different than chalk. Not in a bad way though. Not at all. I think the black behind this coral is going to tone it down some, so it won't like be hot pink looking like it is in the jar. Okay, squeegee off the excess. That's looking good. I'm going to get a smaller squeegee and do the heart on the door. Okay, here we go. Done. Peel this one. Oh, so pretty. All right, now the grand finale. Christine, it's time for that drum roll again. I'm checking my fingers. And we'll peel that away. Yeah, baby. Oh, I love it. It's funny because I don't see your reactions the same time I do it because there's a little bit of a delay, but oh my gosh, I hope you guys like it too. This came out really cute. Ta-da! I'm watching I can see the computer, so I know that you guys are a few steps behind me, but I'm checking my hands in there. And we are almost done. Throwing all my tools in the water. What do you think? Oh my gosh, I know! I can't wait to wear it. It's so cute. Oh, thank you for the hearts. That's so sweet. All right, I think this was a really fun project. If you guys think that, you know, I think I have a lot of local girls on here right now. If you think this is something you'd like to do in a class, please let me know. The only part that kind of makes me nervous about doing it as a class is if somebody gets ink on their fingers and touches their shirts, they won't leave happy. And you know me, I like everybody to leave loving what they've done. So that is my vintage truck for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are interested in being in my VIP group, if you are not already, please put VIP in the comments. If you are interested in learning about Club Couture, where you receive an exclusive design transfer every month and some chalk paste singles, write club in the comments. If you would like to get paid to craft like I do, please write join in the comments and I'll be sure to get you some information. Or if you have any questions about anything that I've done, please ask. I am happy to help you and answer all your questions. You can't wait to see this in person. I will have this on at our next vintage truck day. I will be wearing it. All right, have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and maybe I'll be back tomorrow. We'll see what I can come up with. I'm waiting for my shipment of all the new transfers that I ordered. I just ordered a bunch. Those of you that are in my VIP group, I am working on an album sale where you guys can get some great deals. So stay tuned for that. If you are not a VIP, you are going to want to be. So definitely put VIP in the comments so that you can get in on those goodies too. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.